what's really impressive? Reading 100 books in a year and still somehow managing to miss basically every book that's on Goodreads' most popular of 2024 list. So I've decided to go ahead and use this as my 2025 reading cheat sheet to make sure I get some 5-star books early on in the year. Because if they're this popular, they have to be good, right? I mean, the internet has never lied to me about a popular book being good before when it wasn't. I guess let's go get some reading done? It is currently New Year's Day, 2025, right around 9:30 p.m., and I cannot stand the idea of not starting a brand new book for the brand new year. And if this book isn't good, well, then I'll just stop reading forever, I guess. Well, the first book we're reading, coming in at number 9 for all the books published in 2024 is The God of the Woods. Of what I know, this is about a kid that goes missing from summer camp. I think it's just a normal mystery. If it's paranormal, we're gonna find out real soon, though. Let's go ahead and get started, and then I will find out more, I'm sure. Kind of the point of reading a book, you find out more. If you read more, you learn more.
Ian cozy too? Cozy too.
If we could all please ignore my outfit in this clip, I was taking down Christmas decorations. I got overwhelmed, okay?
I don't really know what's going on. I feel like we're so close to a conclusion, and yet there's more than half the book left.
So, I'm sure there's about to be some plot twist. I'm sure I've got everything wrong right now, like I always do with mysteries, because I'm just here for the vibe. I'm not here to figure out the mystery. That's what they're gonna do in here for me. I don't need to use extra brain power on that, do I? No, I don't. We got a camper. She went missing. She's from a rich family that owns the camp. There's a guy who escaped from prison. There's a whole lot going on. I'm enjoying it so far, so hopefully it still stays good. I just feel the next 150 pages I feel like are gonna make or break this book for me. Could be wrong though. Maybe the plot twist is just so good. I am alarmed. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh. I am so frustrated right now. Ah! Oh no. I feel like when I find out a certain detail, I'm going to be horribly disturbed. I want to know what's going on. It's only 8:22. I don't know how many pages left in this book. I don't know how long this book is. I keep forgetting. But we're working through it. It's windy as all get out, so I have like creepy wind noise coming in. I have my slightly creepy book. Again, it has more of a literary fiction vibe than like a mystery thriller right now, if that makes sense. And I'm liking that aspect of it. But what is this pose? Interesting way to talk. Anyways, I'm liking it. Yep, that's all I need to say. Stuff is happening. Oh, why are you stupid? No. What? Oh gosh. Answers? Oh. The book hasn't confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure I just figured it out. There's like 20 pages left, so it's not that impressive, but... Oh! 5 stars to The God of the Woods. It was very good. It was more literary fiction, mystery vibes. I don't want to say too much about mystery books ever, but you're at a camp setting, but the really rich people that own the camp live at the top of the hill, and they're having a party at the same time. With their rich friends, they invite actors, blah, blah, blah. A kid goes missing, and it's their kid. Uh-oh. Also, escaped criminal that may have been a murderer out and loose in the area. Woo! That's basically the story there. You guys are gonna go read it now, right? Okay, so The God of the Woods was number 9 overall last year by the amount it sold? Yeah, by the amount it sold and had ranked on Goodreads. The God of the Woods, number 9. We are now jumping down all the way to number 19. We're going 10 spots down. So this is still very popular, but not as many people bought it. But honestly, I heard this one talked about way more than The God of the Woods. This was all over TikTok, all over BookTube. I need to focus on getting my blood sugar down, and we're gonna read this as we do that because I am not doing good. Send help. Am I going to the ER tonight? Or reading a book, who knows? Good news, after double checking a couple things, I don't think we'll need to go to the ER, so that's a win. This little con artist. Double agent. Electric lamps. What time period are we in? Oh, she got many. Alright. And a player. She's got all of them in the palm of her hand. Oh. Oh, whoa. Holy crap. Loathing. Unadulterated loathing. It has the potential to be a fantastic enemies to lovers right now. With a chest as solid as concrete. He's fit. Where are you? I'm 100 pages in. I got the point of the plot now, and I'm gonna explain it to you. No spoilers, I'm just explaining the basic plot, okay? We got our main girl, Rune, who's like, ooh, wow, I really don't like witches, and I'm just so ditzy and blah, blah, blah. And then you got our main guy, Gideon, who was like, yeah, I hunt all the witches, and I'm trying to find this crimson moth. But actually, Rune, even though her name is obviously a name for a witch, you know, Rune, at night, she goes by the crimson moth. She is the one protecting all the witches, getting them out of prison, escaping, outsmarting Gideon. They are going toe to toe, but Gideon doesn't know it. But eventually, one of Gideon's friends is like, so there's something pointing us towards Rune being the Crimson Moth. And Gideon goes, no, she's too stupid and dull and boring. And did I tell you she's stupid? It couldn't be her. The Crimson Moth would be somebody who can go toe to toe with me. And they're like, look, I don't know, man, but I think we should rule her out. She's high in society. She has connections to figure out what we're doing. So I think the only way to do that is if you pretend to court her. He's like, I can't stand her. I mean, she's freaking gorgeous, but fine, I'll court her even though she's a bore. And at the same time as all this, Rune over here is trying to marry a man that will have connections so she can use that for the Crimson Moth double agent type of thing, so she knows what's going on with the witches. And all of a sudden, the captain of the witch hunters starts showing interest in her, and she's like, maybe I should flirt back and try to double cross him. So they both don't like each other. They're both trying to double cross each other, and the banter is top notch. Oh, did I mention Gideon's brother, Alex, has been in love with Rune since they were kids, and all of a sudden Gideon, who has never liked her, is trying to swoop in and steal his girl, so drama. Poor Alex. He's like, he's the sunshine boy that has to be sacrificed so the morally gray character can get the girl, you know? That's the situation we're in there. So, let's continue on. Reading The Heartless Hunter, or Crimson Moth if you're from Europe, because, again, Americans aren't trusted with fun names. Don't know what we did to the publishers for that. It's because you're talking like this. They watch these videos and they go, Natalie cannot have the cool name books. She's doing a horrible impersonation. She has switched to 50 different countries in one clip. Okay, I'm gonna stop getting banned from many different countries. We're gonna keep reading. I'm in the middle of a chapter right now. A hooded sweater, I'm on. That's a hoodie, Natalie. Okay. I'm so stupid. Why do I trust anyone so easily? Ooh, la, 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 la. Like, I feel bad for the sunshine golden boy in this one, but I just can't root for him. Normally I can, but I can't. But their banter's so good. It's so good, the banter. Oh. His life was tragic. That's not good. That's actually pretty bad. I thought this was gonna be a heavier romantasy book, more of an ACOTAR feel almost, but this has more of a Gilded Age, but we're putting some magic in there as well, double crossing everybody. I love it. If you haven't watched The Gilded Age, by the way, on HBO, so good. It's my favorite show. Stop talking about how small she is. I'm getting whiplash. What time period is this? You forget I have your freaking inner monologue. I know what you're thinking, both of you. Loathing, unadulterated loathing. There is no way she was this clueless. Oh my gosh. That seems like a really dumb thing to do. Double cross on double cross on double cross. When does the next book come out? I would like to know. Comes out February 18th. One to read. Added to the list. I'm gonna be reading that soon. That's for sure. Well, let's talk about the 19th most popular. Let's learn how to talk. My thoughts on the 19th most popular book of 2024 that was published in 2024. Okay, we got the point. What is happening? This book was so much fun. I already gave you the plot overview, but overall, I think I'm giving this 5 stars. I just had a great time. This was fun world building. It's like middle 1800s or so. They're still using carriages, stuff like that. It doesn't sound like there's cars and stuff, so I'm guessing like middle to late 1800s right now is where we're at. It was so nice. The banter, the tension, the character building was so fun. I mean, let's be honest, the real selling point of this is the enemies to lovers, and it's done pretty well. I wish they would have been enemies a little longer, and I don't know. I wish there was a little more hatred towards each other for a little longer. I feel like they both were like, oh my word, but I have feelings for them a little too soon. I would love to talk about other stuff, but that would be spoilers, and I want everybody to be able to experience this. This is an adult book. It's an adult book. It's not a YA book. We're going into a beast of a book. And I don't even think this is the best time for me to go into this book because Onyx Storm, like I said, comes out in a couple days, and I have the audacity to pick up When the Moon Hatched, the brick of the book that this is. This was number 12 out of all the books last year, so it was pretty dang popular. Let's get started, shall we? Pretty sure in the first 30 pages of this book, I just read one of the darkest chapters I have in a bit, and I enjoyed every second of it. It was so good. I feel like I should be telling some spooky, serious story with this lighting or something like one of those podcasts. Welcome to Spooky Stories with Natalie. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. I can't actually handle spooky stories. My ring light is right over there. Could grab it. Probably should. Give me 1 second. This is what I get for really randomly deciding to record. So you're gonna notice something. I started the book, and I've gotten quite a bit of the way through. This is how much I've read. We're at page 239. I'm making really good progress on this book. I'm not even listening to it on audio or anything like I thought I was going to because I'm just so in love with it right now. Not saying I don't love books when I listen to them on audio, but I don't know. I'm just really enjoying just reading a physical book that's a little bigger. It's a little more challenging on the brain, I feel like. I don't know what the argument is if like audiobooks count as reading. I say they do, but I don't know how they affect the brain differently. So it's nice to sit down with a brick of a book and actually be like, I'm going to physically read it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm having a wonderful time. Our main character in here, she's an assassin girly. She hates the king and everything he stands for. So she's killing a bunch of people. Really, really corrupt people, like horrible criminals that are just getting away with it because they're under the protection of the crown. So she hates all the royals throughout all the lands. There's also dragons. We're getting kind of introduced to a couple now, but not really. They're just background characters, but these dragons, what they do when they die, or they want to die, I guess, they just kind of choose to fly up into the sky, curl up into balls, and become moons. Problem is, they used to just crash to the ground and destroy cities and a bunch of people. Luckily, the other gods killed another god or, like, disintegrated him, so that stopped. But one recently crashed. We haven't really gotten into that part. I don't know if that was like in the future from where our characters are or what. But yeah, moonfalls don't happen that often anymore, but they still can, and lots of people die. It's like a giant meteor coming down, but it doesn't kill all the dinosaurs. It just kills some of the people in the area, you know? Avian here would be best friends with Severo from the Red Rising series. They would be besties and having the best time. They both are just very dark characters. She is such a dark, twisty character to follow, and I love it. There was one part in this book where some stuff happened, and she let, like, this alter ego out that just went on a murderous rampage. And I'm just sitting here reading it like, ooh la 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 la, this is the best thing I've ever read. Blood and gore all over the page, and I'm just sitting here smiling. It's a great time. I forgot to say, the one problem with this book, the dragon's name is Ray Gunn, like the bad breakdancer from the Olympics, so I'm having a hard time not picturing the bad breakdancer as the dragon, but we're gonna move past it. I would be giving more updates on When the Moon Hatched, but basically the whole time I've been reading it, I feel like I've had a slight migraine, so yeah, now I'm just doing my best to get pages read. I'm just doing my best. What a look. I look like a normal human, actually. I'm not going to insult myself right now. The hair frizz is a little much, but, you know. We are here to talk about When the Moon Hatched.
I am vibing with this book. I feel like I got way too confident with it when I said it could be a 5 or 6 star book because it's getting closer and closer to a 3 star by the page. By the page! I think as much as I love dual POV, this is a book that would have been so much better without it. So much better. The mystery would have been so good, and I'm sure there's a draft that existed with just that maybe and it didn't work for some reason, but just I wish we had this mystery longer and we're just as confused as our girl, but we're not because it was spoon-fed to us. And I know a lot of people say this is a really complicated world and everything. It's really not. It's a normal romantasy world. It's not even high fantasy or anything, which I'm not saying you have to be high fantasy to be a good book, but it's just not that complicated of a book, honestly. Our girl, Ravi, is that how I said we're saying her name? Anyways, she started out as this amazing, badass character, like picking her own battles, fight, kill everyone. And now, page by page, she's just getting less and less badass, and I don't want that. It's like you gave me this amazing taste of a character and then took her away. Give her back. She's losing her spunk a little too fast, and I'm sure it's because of some mating bond, blah, 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 something. But it's just... give me her spunk back. Her spunk and everything else was what made me love this book at the beginning, and it feels like it's disappearing. She's just turning into a very basic romantasy FMC right now, female main character, and I'm a little disappointed by it. I really, really was liking this, like, badass, I don't need no man, and now it feels like she need a man, and she's snarky and funny still. She's just lost her oomph. Okay, I will update y'all. I'm hoping this book comes back around because I had such high hopes. She was so cool and now she's just not. She's not. I just needed to stop back on and confirm that I did finish getting ready and I didn't just put eyeshadow and concealer on my face. Okay, bye.
No longer somebody, no. But why'd I have to write that?
Well, because our girl from the start of this book wouldn't have called anything adorable. Why'd she call this hooded robe adorable? What? She's lost her mind. She's gone bananas. Oh, honey. Ooh, baby girl. You got a few surprises coming your way. Somebody warn these poor guys. They've got chain stores in this land. I like it. Girl got caught. Girl got caught. Why is it with this book and making my blood sugar drop out of the sky? Why is it 60 and going down? I'm trying to concentrate right now. I wonder why. And that's 5 minutes behind, so my blood sugar is probably closer to 50. I shouldn't be laughing. I should be eating. Look, why did I look at my book and I just see it's still happening? There's like green little lights going everywhere. Okay. You can't see my face. You know how I said how I had this whole thing figured out and she gave everything away to us in 2 seconds? Actually, I just figured out. I've been bamboozled. I've been double-crossed. I've been lied to. The drama. Girl, explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Okay, I have many thoughts on this book. Started off so strong. Our character was badass. She was great. I loved her. And then she kind of fell off. It kind of felt like she fell out her own character arc. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. There's a love interest introduced, and it was a really good take on a love story. I really liked it. It was twisty. It was fun. Oh, there are multiple POVs. We're really focused on one. We're going through a back and forth timeline. There's some dragons, but as a TikTok I saw earlier today said, the dragons are just glorified Uber drivers right now. There's nothing more to them. Like, they are just used as a means of travel. They're talked about as these, I don't know, amazing creatures, but they're not treated that way so far. So I think we'll get more of them in the next book, hopefully. With all that being said, there is spice, and there is spice in here that you cannot fully skip, where you're going to need to skim and read the dialogue because there's some important stuff. The spice is very, very detailed. Just skimming through, I saw stuff that I did not want to read. I did not need to be in the room with them during those scenes, okay? So if you don't like spice at all, probably just skip it. But if you're good with just skimming through the spicy scenes, getting the dialogue that you need, if you see something, oh well, like you don't want to, but oh well, you're fine. Or if you just read spice, I mean, here you go.
Anyways, that's really all I have to say about that. I think I'm gonna land with this book. There's a lot of potential for this series. I want to continue it. The next book isn't coming out until fall of this year, but right now I'm gonna put this series at a 3.5. I liked it, and I would recommend it to people. I think that's really all I gotta say about it. Next book we're sorting. Let me grab it. Let me grab it real fast. The Woman by Kristen Hanna, who just blew up this year. Last year. Yeah, we're in 2025. That doesn't seem real. But anyways, she blew up last year because of this book. She had some other popular ones, but this is the one I think really got everybody knowing her name. So, I'm joining the bandwagon. I think this probably is about war and gonna make me cry real bad. I'm a little scared about that. I'm also gonna be listening to it while I drive to see my parents tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Hi, I don't look put together, but that's fine. What did you expect? What, you've been here. You've watched this video so far. Have I been put together for most of it? No. I wanted to talk about The Woman, the book. It is so good. If I was to film myself reading it, it would just be me crying, because that's been me the entire book. I've either been crying or so mad for our main character, which are the emotions she wants you to have. It's just, wow, she like reached into my chest and put these emotions in me just by reading her words. Her writing is amazing. So good. I was crying within the first 100 pages of this book. Like, actually, no, first 20 pages of this book, I'm pretty sure. I was crying. I was on my way home, I was driving my little car, and I was sobbing. People were driving by my car, and I'm just sitting over there like... Exactly what happened right there. It was a live recreation. You're welcome. This is why I didn't film me reading it. This is all it's been. It's just me crying. It's just been me crying. I finished The Woman, and I was an emotional wreck after finishing it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I also keep wanting to call this book Miss Saigon, and that is not it. That is a musical with a different female lead during the Vietnam War. Is my blood sugar dropping or something? I'm not dying, I just feel weird. Chronic illness, you know? Anyways, talking about real life struggles, this girl went through so many more struggles than I have gone through in my entire life. And she's not even chronically ill. Her life was absolutely insane. I know this is a fictional book. I'm gonna talk about her like she was a real person, because to me she is. Is that delusion? Maybe. She also represents real women that went through stuff like this. I knew nothing about the Vietnam War going into this. Honestly, I'm uneducated on this subject. But this did a great job on bringing to light what the women who went to Vietnam went through. They went to Vietnam as nurses, and then once they got back, they were dealing with the same PTSD and flashbacks and stuff like that. I cannot think right now. This is not good. Am I okay? I'll be right back. I drank some electrolytes. Pretty sure I was severely dehydrated. Anyways, we were talking about this book. It's amazing. It tells the story of women during the Vietnam War that were deployed over there as nurses, and their story coming back as well, which was just difficult in a different way than the men coming back from Vietnam, because they weren't treated like they were even there. The VA offices were being like, there was no women in Vietnam. It was like, there was no war in Ba Sing Se. That's what it felt like. It was just, ooh. What? What do you mean there's no women there? She was there with multiple other women. What are you talking about? So you were dealing with all that. There was a lot of life drama just when she got back and readjusting, and you're following her throughout that. We get to a ending, eventually. I'm not gonna say if it's happy or not. Feel like that's a spoiler for this book, honestly. But we get to an ending, and I really enjoyed it. Everything tied together really well. The friends she made were so solid. I mean, if you want to talk about a book about girlhood, oh my gosh, this is it. Or just girl friendships, I don't know. They were amazing. Her friends were probably the highlight of this book for me. I love them. They were so supportive of her and helping her. They were also in Vietnam with her. But it was just, this book had a extra special magic in it. But now, let me introduce you to the #1 most popular book of 2024. Funny story. I have gotten maybe like 10 pages in. I was listening to a little bit of the audiobook while I got ready, and the setup is so fun. aghast when I figure out what the setup was because I didn't read anything on the back of this. I love going into books blind. So, the shock. You start off and she's talking about this cute story on her fiance, how great he is, and then you find out they're actually ex-fiancés because on his bachelor party, he broke off their engagement to get with his best friend he's been best friends with since childhood. And she's living in this new apartment, so she goes over to talk to the guy to get him to turn down his music, only to reveal that Miles in here is the ex of the girl that her fiance dumped her for. So she moved in here because she was living with her fiance, and now they're living together, dealing with this breakup. It's like 3 weeks post-breakup. She's a very clean, put-together girl, and he's a very messy, not all put-together guy. And that's what we're dealing with. She wants to be a children's librarian, which I think is so cute. I love Emily Henry and all her characters. Most of her characters have like bookish jobs. I find it adorable. I love it so much. Her books are always a fun time. I don't have high hopes going into this, but I do have hopes of having a fun, good, lighthearted time. Oh, this, I'm probably gonna rate it 5 stars on Goodreads, but I'm gonna say like my real rating is 4.5. Funny story, let's go read. I think I want to go read in a coffee house. I also want to pick up a couple things to bedazzle a book, maybe. Keep an eye out for that short. I'm sure I'll make one for it, so let's go. I finished Funny Story, and I'm just now talking about it because I just forgot. I actually finished this the same day I started, but then I got a migraine, and then I got really busy, and now we're finally sitting down to talk about this almost a week later. But let me tell y'all, this was a really fun Emily Henry book. It was a little lighter on the romance. I mean, it's still heavy on the romance compared to non-romance books, but this was more a romance literary fiction type of book in my head. Focused more on her friendships, building her own life. It was really, really sweet. Saying all that, though, it's not my favorite Emily Henry book. It's better than Happy Place, far better than Happy Place. So I'm gonna give this like a 4 star still, but it's just not quite at the level of Book Lovers, which I absolutely adored. But she did a wonderful job with the character growth for both of our characters. The story was super fun. It was a funny story. Okay. Anyways, I thought our main characters were cute. I know a lot of people don't like Miles in this book, but I thought he was a really, like, normal dude. He seemed like a nice guy. He didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why people don't like him. He was perfectly nice. I don't know what he did to some of y'all. So if you want a fun, lighthearted, little less romance-heavy romance book, this is probably the book for you, and you would really enjoy it. And I mean, if you like Emily Henry's work, you're gonna like this one. It feels like one of her books, which is a wonderful thing. Out of the 5 books we read in this, I got a 5-star book from number 15 on the list, I believe, and the second one just came out. I really want to read it, but I am on a book buying ban, so we'll get to it in a couple months, unfortunately. I've spent too much money on books. I cannot justify buying another book when I have a stack of 50 on my TBR. So, if you want to see me get through that stack of 50, though, definitely go ahead, subscribe, like this video, and I'll be posting more reading vlogs, and very soon coming out with my Onyx Storm recap. If you're still watching, thank you so much. It really means a whole lot, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.